Okay, I am here with the 8 most popular toothbrush brands. I want to say brands, but I have a lot of Oral-B here. Toothbrush models on Amazon right now. So I want to show you well, what you can get for your different price ranges and if you really need it. So Oral-B is, I think, the brand to go for here. A lot of the most popular models are from this brand. Then you of course have Philips with their Sonicare, and if you really want to get into like water flossing, then the Waterpik, or a new contender here, and I'll get into why. So let's first look at a couple of different models here from Oral-B. This is the most simple one, the Pro 1 or Pro 1000, I think in the States. In Europe they're called the Pro 1 series. This is the most basic one that you can get. It just has an on button, then the standard Oral-B brush head, and then 3 different modes. 1, 2, and 3. So the normal mode, the gum care mode, and the deep cleaning mode. And then charging base here with the hole in the middle there. So you just put that on and then it can charge. It has an overbrush protection, but just audible, so you can hear that you're brushing too hard. And you can get this with a case, which is just a plastic case here. I would not recommend getting it with the case, but I do recommend, if you just want a good toothbrush, a simple one, just get the Oral-B basic version, the Pro Series 1, and you get a lot of bang for your buck here. This one will last you a long time, and it's just really good without all of the additional features or premiumness that you might not need, which brings us to the Oral-B IO Series 2 here. The IO Series is a little bit more premium. You still get the same charging base here with the hole there, and the same 3 modes that you can brush with. I don't think there's an upgrade in the modes. You just have the 3 modes that you can push with the button. And then just play along with that. And this has slightly more premium brush heads, which connect just a little bit better here, and they look more sleek and more premium. So you're paying a lot here for, I think, a little bit better design in the IO Series 2. One thing, you do get a visual overbrushing, so you can see the red light there when I push too hard. So that is a nice addition, but I think having just the one on the Series 1, I think that's enough. And you should just go with like the basic one and not pay more for like the aesthetics of the IO Series 2. And that's, well, just my opinion here. Then you can get, if you really like app-enabled devices, you can go for the Genius X, which is a cool device. It has the same app as the more expensive Oral-B ones here, because all of them just use the same app and the same technology to map out your mouth and see if your coverage is enough, that sort of thing, and stats during the week, that sort of thing. And I think this is the most basic version that you can get with that app. So if you really like app enabled and you want to improve your brushing, then this Genius X one is really cool. It's also a basic design, more like the Pro Series here than like the IO Series. So a basic design, a grippy back, which is nice, and then you have a larger indicator light here for overbrushing on the top. You can see it turns red when you push too hard. Then you have 5 modes here instead of 3, so it's a little bit more, and they're indicated here with lights on the body itself. So if you want to get into apps, and I really like an app, but I have to say, after I've used it for a couple of times, it can give you some cool insights, but after a couple of times I stopped using it, because you have to open the app every single time that you want to use it, which is another feature I'll get into for the Series 10, IO Series 10. So I think this is cool. If you want an app, then you should buy this. If you well, really like more premium stuff, this is the IO Series 7, and you get a lot more premium design. This looks more like the IO Series 2 as well in design, although it's made of more premium material. So IO 7 gives you a lot more premium material than the IO 2, and it also gives you app-enabled brushing. So that's a difference here as well, and a very cool travel case. So if you travel a lot and you want a case with that as well, this is a very nice design, very easy to take your brush with you, with the ability to take 2 brushes and they won't touch. So you can just take 1 brush and then use it with 2 people. So very cool that you get that. The addition here as well, if you go more premium, is you have like this rounded design here at the bottom, and not the opening here at the bottom, which is a lot easier to clean. And then you get a buck charging base, which is also more stable, and it just flips on there magnetically, so that's cool. And you also get the more premium I/O brush heads, just like with the I/O Series 2. So it's a very sleek design, and you get your brush modes in a display here, which you don't really need, but you do pay for anyway. So it is cool, but do you need it? No, you just pay for it. But this also gives you a timer indicator for where you can see if you're brushing like 2 minutes or less. So I think that's a nice addition too. When you turn that on, you can see the timer will start, and you can see how long you're brushing. And then also here up top you have that indicator if you're over brushing, which turns red. So the nice addition here is maybe the timer here in the brush itself. You don't have that with the Genius X, but you do also get the app, which is the same as with the Genius X. And then the timer here as well, instead of just an audible timer, where the toothbrush gives you a signal when you are at the 2-minute mark. Then this is really cool, the I/O Series 10. This one is a lot more premium. It looks the same as the I/O Series 7, so it's the same basic design. Maybe the materials are just a little bit different here in the brush, but you also have the same display and the same modes, so there's no difference there. You also have the same type of case, so no real difference there. The difference here is in the charging base, so you pay extra for the additional charging base. And the cool thing there is, and that really helps me use the app a lot more, the cool thing here is you can use the brush without having the app open. So when you use the brush, it registers everything. Then when you put it on the base is connected to your phone as well. So it just signals the data over Wi-Fi to your phone. And then when you open the app, you have all your stats ready for you. So one thing, I just couldn't be bothered to open the app every time that I wanted to brush. So you're missing a lot of data, and eventually you stop using it. At least that was the case for me. So with this one, you just have your data. You can open that up anytime you want to see your stats. So this is a real cool thing if you just want to set it and forget it. Of course you pay a lot more here, but I think it is a really cool addition to have that ability to just set it and forget it. And I think this will help a lot of people use like a brushing app a lot more. So that is a very cool way of using that as well. And I think in the same price range of this I/O Series 10 is the Philips Sonicare 9900 Diamond Clean Prestige, and here it's about the same price range, but this one doesn't come with an app, and I think they put all the money in like the premiumness of the brush itself and the case and the entire system. As you can see, they're about the same size. The Sonicare is just a little bit more sleek, a little bit smaller. It has like this very nice rounded base. So they managed to work away the little hole there completely. So that's very nice. It also has a lot of modes here that you can use, and it has this cool charging base where you can just put that on and it charges magnetically, wirelessly, like with your phone. You can also put this on, but then you don't see the coolness of the base, of that brushed steel, the brushed metal. And it has a charging case that you can take with you with a faux leather, and also that brushed rose gold on there, just like with the device itself. And then this is very cool. It also is a charging case, sorry, here, so you can charge it while it's in there. So they put all of that extra money and all of that extra effort not in the app, but in the premiumness of the device itself. And well, the way you charge it, the way you use it. So I think this is a better value for your money. If you really want to travel a lot, this case is very cool. It's a lot sleeker than the Oral-B case, and you can charge in it. So you don't need to bring any additional base or any additional charging device. You can just take this one. You only have this with you, very small, and then you're good to go. So yeah, I think it's a little bit too much money for that premiumness, but that's just me. Then if you also want to travel but also want to floss, then I've found this a new one here. This is the Sukas or Sukas. So that's pretty cool, and they claim that they're pretty eco-friendly, and it's Sukas Neos 2, and that you can just take this with you and then floss as well, because you have a little water reservoir right there at the bottom. So that's pretty cool, and you just set that down, and of course they needed to find a different way to charge this, and they just completely redesigned the toothbrush here and the toothbrush experience. So this is just a little bit larger than your standard toothbrush, but it has the ability to floss as well. So I like the water flusher from this one. It's a little bit less powerful than the water pick here, which we'll get into after this, but okay, of course that's logical. And you can set this to 2 modes. You can brush for 2 minutes and then after that start the flossing experience, or you can toothbrush and floss at the same time with the bottom there, and then do both at the same time if you're a little bit pressed for time. I can really see myself bringing this as, because I like water flossing, bringing this as my travel device, or even keep that as my main device. And then the water pick, I think that's the standard in at-home water flossing systems. You have the toothbrush here, which is a little bit basic. I think a little like the Philips or the Oral-B Pro Series 1000 here. It's a little bit lighter even. So maybe this is just a little bit more premium. And then you can see your 3 modes there, which are the standard modes for all of these types of brushes. So this is a little bit basic for the price, I think. So you can charge it on this base, which is nice, but I think most of the money goes into like this flossing system. So you get your flosser here, you can turn that on. You have different flossing devices here that you can choose. So you can choose from either of one of these and 2 brush heads you get with it. It doesn't have any over brushing protection or indication, so it's very, very basic. But then you have like your flossing system here as well, and the travel case is very nice as well. So this is a cool, it is plastic, but it has a magnetic click here, and you can put your brush into toothbrush and 2 brushes in here as well to travel with it. Of course without the base here, which is a little bit more difficult to take with you and a little bit larger. But I think still the most powerful system for water flossing, and I do like water flossing, so I have something like this here at home, and then I think I would take this with me when I'm traveling. Everything about this is travel friendly, so that's pretty cool. Although I have used apps before, and if you're like me and you really want to like use an app but not open that every time or think about it every time, then this iO Series 10, it is premium, it is pricey, but it really does help with that. So those are the different choices, basic up to like insanely pricey and a water flossing system. So I hope this video has helped you make your choice on what's out there and what's good for you.